It was a very gratifying few moments. But then, bam! He snarled and he made for me again. He didn't get me this time either, so I went upstairs and I laid on my bed and I started to think about that dog again. To be truthful, I was offended. And I was damn mad too. It was 6 perfectly good hamburgers with not enough pork in them to make them disgusting. I was offended. But after a while, I thought I would try it out for a few more days. If you think about it, that dog had what amounted to an antipathy toward me. And I wondered if I might overcome this antipathy. So, I tried it out for 5 more days. But it was always the same. It was always snarl, sniff, move, bastard, gobble, rah, smile, snarl, bam. Well now, by this time, Columbus Avenue was just strewn with hamburger rolls, and I was less offended than disgusted. So, I decided to kill that dog. Don't be so alarmed, Peter. I didn't succeed. So the day I tried to kill that dog, I bought only 1 hamburger, and what I thought was a murderous portion of rat poison. When I bought that hamburger, I asked the man not to even bother with the roll. All I wanted was the meat. I expected some kind of reaction from him, like can't eat hamburgers without rolls, you know, or what do you want to do? You want to eat that out of your hands? But no. He smiled very benignly, wrapped up that hamburger, and said, "A bite for your pussycat, right?" I wanted to say, "No, not really. It's all part of a plan to poison this dog I know." But you can't say a dog I know without sounding funny. So I said, a little too loudly, I'm afraid, and too formal, "Yes! A bite for my pussycat!" Well, people looked up. It always happens when I try to simplify things. People look up. But that's neither hither nor thither. So, on the way back to the rooming house, I just needed that hamburger and rat poison together in my hands. At that point, feeling as much sadness as disgust. And when I got back to the rooming house, that dog was waiting for me, waiting to take the offering out of my hands and then jump. That poor bastard. He never learned that the moment he took to smile before he made for me gave me time enough to get out of range. But there he was, malevolence with an erection, just waiting. So I put that poison patty down, and I moved towards the stairs, and I watched. And that poor animal gobbled down the food as usual. And he smiled, which made me almost sick. But then, bam, he made for me again. But as usual, I sprinted up the stairs, and as usual, the dog didn't get me. And it came to pass that the beast was deathly ill. I know this because he no longer attended me, and because that landlady sobered up. She stopped me in the hall the same evening of the attempted murder, and she confided the information that God had struck her poor puppy dog a surely fatal blow. She had forgotten that bewildered lust, and her eyes were wide open for the very first time. They looked like those dog eyes. She sniffled and implored me to pray for that animal. Now I wanted to say, but Matt, I myself to pray for. The colored queen, the Puerto Rican family, the person in the front room whom I've never seen, and the person who cries deliberately behind her closed door, and the rest of the people in all rooming houses everywhere. Besides, man, I don't understand how to pray. But to simplify things, I told her I would pray. Now she looked up, and she looked at me, and she said that I was a liar, that I probably wanted that dog to die. Now I have to tell you, I told her there was so much truth here, that I didn't want that dog to die. I didn't. And not just because I had poisoned him. I'm afraid that I must tell you that I wanted that dog to live so that I could see what our new relationship might come to. Look, please understand, Peter. This sort of thing is important. You have to believe me. It is important. We have to know the effects of our actions. So, anyway, when I came home from a movie that was playing on 42nd Street, right? A movie I'd seen, or one that was very much like one or several that I'd seen. And when the landlady told me that Puppykins was better, I was was so hoping for that dog to be waiting for me. I was, well, how would you put it? Enticed? Fascinated? No, I don't think that's it. Heart-shatteringly anxious. That is it! I was heart-shatteringly anxious to confront my friend again, Peter. That's right, friend. That is the only word for it. I was heart-shatteringly anxious to confront my doggy friend again. So I came into the entrance hall and advanced unafraid to the center of the entrance hall. And the beast was there looking at me. And you know, he looked so much better for a scrape with the Nevermind. And so I stopped, and I looked at him, and he looked at me. I think we stayed a long time that way, just still, stone statue, just looking at one another. And I looked into his face, more than he looked into mine. And I mean, I can concentrate longer at looking into a dog's face than a dog can concentrate at looking into mine, or into anybody else's face for that matter. But during those 20 seconds or 2 hours that we looked into each other's face, we made contact. Now, here's what I wanted to happen. I love that dog now, and I wanted him to love me. And I had tried to love, and I had tried to kill. And both have been unsuccessful by themselves. I had hoped that, and I really don't understand why I expected the dog to understand anything, much less my motivations. I just hoped that he would understand. It's just if you can't deal with people, you have to make a start somewhere. With animals, don't you see? A person has to make a start somewhere. If not with people, well, then something. Well, with a cockroach, with a roll of toilet, with a mirror. No. That's too hard. That's one of the last steps. With the cockroach, with the carpet, with a roll of toilet paper. No, that's another mirror. That's you're always checking your bleeding. You see how hard it is to find things? Just the street corner and too many lights, all colors reflecting off those oily wet streets, with a wisp of smoke, with pornographic playing cards, with a strong box without a lock, with loving, with vomiting, with crying, with fury, because those pretty little ladies aren't pretty little ladies. With making money with your body, which is an act of loving. I can prove it. With howling because you're alive with God. How about that, huh? With God who is a colored queen who wears a kimono and plucks his eyebrows. With a woman who is a woman, who cries deliberately behind her closed door with determination. Who, I'm told, God, he turned his back on everybody a whole long time ago. With people, with an idea, a concept, and wherever better in this humiliating excuse for a prison, wherever better to communicate one single, simple-minded idea, where better to understand and to be possibly understood.